Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's a pleasure. So, you're slowly arriving. I think we can start right now. People are arriving quite quickly. It's great to meet you today. Today, big discussion about the bachelor program, all the presentation, everything you need to know. I'm Emmanuel Neri, so I'm in charge of the admissions for the bachelor program, everything related to candidacies, how to apply, etc. And today to discuss deeply about every task of the program, semesters abroad, internships, everything you need to know. Who better than the program director himself? I present you Patrice Sargenti.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. So I'm Patrice Sargenti. I am in charge of the bachelor program here at the University of Monaco since quite a long time here. We are going today to cover the institution itself, try to understand a bit who we are, and we are going slowly to dig into the bachelor program itself and its specificities. You will see, we will speak about spending one term or 1 year abroad. We will speak about working in companies several times during the 3 years. And we'll speak about student life in general. And finally, Emmanuel will explain you how to apply to the program because it's part as well of the procedure you need to know. Today we are in a Zoom webinar. It is recorded. It's important to know. And we are here to interact between each other. So do not hesitate to use the Q&A question in priority. If you have whatever questions, Mr. Neri is going to read the questions and we're going to answer them live if needed during the presentation. Okay? So, first of all, we always start the webinars and the presentation of IUM by showing the mission statement. We are going to skim through it rapidly because the mission statement lists exactly in details what we do and what we aim to do. Today, the mission statement starts with keywords. The first two words are very important keywords. It's IUM is here to educate. Educate, it's a very large word that will go from technical skills to soft skills, bringing students from high school to professional life and shaping the profile of the young students to what could be employable. And the definition for us of employability has a wide part that includes soft skills, being responsible, being aware of ethical issues, sustainabilities at an international level, because we are here working with international people and then targeting an international and globalized job market. So this is a bit the philosophy that we would like to provide to the students. The specificity of IUM is that, well, first of all, it's in Monaco. It's a very important specificity, but it is quite small. We are a human-sized institution, in fact. Very international, quite stimulating because then we can interact and we can know each other. We are quite accessible, the administration and the management of the school, so the students, and we are in class as well. As the director, we are teaching as well. So that gives, a kind of close atmosphere between students and the administration, which is enjoyable for us particularly, but I think for the student as well. Monaco is the territory which has its own specificity. 5,000 companies in 2 square kilometers, more than 100 nationalities. So it's a very dynamic market for our students to interact with. So we are as well very connected to the territory and its economic world. All the professors full-time we have here are researchers. They are all PhD with several stars in peer-reviewed articles published every year. And we are focusing our research into fields linked to our specializations, and our specializations are linked to the economic topology of Monaco, meaning sport management, finance, luxury services, hospitality, and startup as well, because there are 3 incubators in Monaco. So These are the fields that we are specialized in and we are doing research in. Last but not least, we are part of a group which is called Omnes Education Group. It's the largest French private institution of higher education with 26 schools in something like 30 different campuses in Europe. London, Geneva, Paris, Barcelona, Munich as well, and some other countries in America and Africa. So you will hear that this group will help us and will allow our students to navigate throughout the other schools of the group in order to spend time abroad, grab additional specialized knowledge from these particular schools. The motto of IUM is experiential education. Okay, so the philosophy is to try to foster cooperation and collaboration between students and between professors and students, trying to balance well the theory and the practice. For that, we have our professors that are in class, which are practitioners. Bachelor students will be exposed to 1/3 of their class with full-time researchers and 2/3 of their class with practitioners. They are professionals working in a specific field and then coming to IUM to teach a course linked to the field they are experiencing every day. That's automatically bring in class real life experiences, maybe potentially real customers, providers, potential employers for the students in the future, and real life case study, which is very important. Multicultural is transversal. It's everywhere here in IUM and in Monaco. We have a lot of different nationalities here. Students will learn, each other in the class through by interacting between each other, and that's quite, one of the key assets of IUM. Active learning, we ask the students to try to organize themselves from day one, trying to be source of proposals, trying to be entrepreneur of their own life, entrepreneur of their own studies, and sometimes real entrepreneurs creating companies here, in the area. So that's quite, dynamic and passionating for the students that are really, involved and active. In the end, since we are human side, we can, say that the students is at the center of the attention of the institution, from staff to faculty to managers, and we'll try to organize everything in order to optimize, the journey and the experience of the students here at IUM. The school was created in 1986. Our portfolio of program ranges from bachelor, master specialized, we have an MBA, and we have a doctorate as well, a DBA program. Our diploma are recognized by the government of Monaco, and therefore they are recognized all over the world. So we have 1,000 bit more students here in IUM with more than 70 different nationalities. All of the courses are taught in English. And we are used to say that Monaco is the campus. The building that you can see here is the main building of the university here. But in fact, it contains classrooms and administration's office, some faculty offices. But the stadium, we are used to say that to do sports, we use the entire principality to interact and to have a social life. We go, in the 2 square kilometers principality. We are in the middle here at the exit of the train stations, so we can easily walk from one side to the other one of the principality. The alumni network is more than 4,000 students over more than 100 countries. Quite active, quite connected because of the nature of the institution, very family type oriented. So we are in contact with our students and they are active. They are one of the first recruiters of our students and very reactive when it comes to, asking questions. Some students will be interested in going to find an internship in Australia, for example. So first connection point will be our alumni that are in Australia. We contact them, we put the students in contact with them, and then they start interacting. And that is not a single example. It can be replicated all over the world. So around 30 full-time faculty, more than 100 practitioners, good balance between, professionals and researchers. We have 2 additional accreditations, international accreditations, AMBA for the MBA program and AACSB for the entire portfolio of program here, which is, putting IUM into a quite top ranking of the university. Our Master of Finance has entered the Financial Times ranking, rank 17, which is a very high position, so we are quite proud of it. In The Economist, we were, in the top 50 in the last The Economist ranking of MBAs, which is quite very good as well. There is 5,000 MBA in the world, 500 accredited with AMBA, and we are in the top 50. So we are quite proud of these achievements. We just finished the presentation of the institution in general. We are going to describe the portfolio of program. Do we have, before we go to the academic side, questions about the institutions per se?
No questions for the moment. So please, if you have any doubts, any questions, don't hesitate, as Patrice said, to use the Q&A session. This is better for us than the chat. So Q&A session for any question, by preference related to the subject that we are mentioning right now. If it's a question related to admission, internships, we will cover it later. So don't hesitate.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So the portfolio of program, we have one bachelor program, Bachelor of Business Administration here at IUM, which is, dedicated for the first 3 years of studies of the students. Then we have master's program, specialized master in luxury, finance, sport, business management, international management, and sustainable innovation and management. We have an MBA, which is a Master of Business Administration. And we have, the DBA program, which is for the year 6, 7, and 8. Luxury, we have 3 specialization, 4 with the yachting now. And finance, we have 4 specializations as well. Other programs are running here at IUM. We have a summer schools, we have executive educations, professional coming to study. We have as well some certification that we give for the bankers here at IUM. And now we are going to dig into the main subject of today's seminar, which is the bachelor program. Bachelor program, a bit more in detail, is a 3-year degree. This 3-year degree starts with a foundation year of business and management, which will be directly after high school degree. We have 2 intakes, one in September and one in January. The idea is that the first year we try to root the knowledge that will be specialized during the 3rd year into very good academic and let's say experiential content. The summer are dedicated to do optional internships, and the degree we deliver is a 90 US credit degree, which is equivalent to a 3-year bachelor degree in Europe. And we have an option which is called honors track, dedicated to a 4-year bachelor degree, equivalent to the 4-year bachelor degree we have in America, to be able to join the master in America. So if we go a bit more in details into this first year, you will see that it is covering 10 subjects. 9 are in-class activities, and the 10th one, which is the experiential learning module, is more dedicated to other type of skills, which is mainly online courses linked to techniques. Artificial intelligence is today very important, so this is part of it. The students that starts in September will have class from September to May, and the January intake will have class from January to June, but both cohorts will become 2nd year at the end of this academic year. So everybody will be together in September. That means that the January intake will have a more condensed semester term, let's say, academic year, which is 1 year but condensed into 6 months. more or less it is the same path, the same rhythm, 18 weeks of class, but a bit less holidays, so it is a bit more condensed. Important to know. Why do we have a January intake? In fact, it is because historically in January we were welcoming students from Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, students that in their country finishes their academic life in December, because in December it's summer there and their academic life finishes in December. But on top of it, the January intake today is the opportunity for a lot of students from Northern Europe, in fact, that started something somewhere in September and did not really cope with it, to not to wait in another September and to jump into in January, and in the end to save time or to recover from maybe this bad experience they may have had from September to December. That's the second reason why we keep this January intake. In terms of content, courses delivered, during the first year of the BBA, the foundation year, are quite standard, to be honest, but everything is set at an international level. Important to know. So we did not put international in each subject because it will be written everywhere, but everything is covered, is covering, topics at a global level. Economics will cover micro and macro, how to create values, and we always use case study of, international companies. Business and management is to understand what is the structure of a company and how we work, and how a company develop. HR is how to manage people. Marketing, the strategy, of course, of marketing development. Accounting, so we use the international accounting system from American textbooks for Europe. IT, we are going to dig into technical tools, particularly Excel, but as well artificial intelligence here. Communication, it's to understand on one side how to study properly, so it kind of study skills preparation at the beginning of the year. And then quickly we will become, and jump into communication in the business environment in order to understand that the standard of communication in the business world is not exactly the same as the one when you are communicating with friends, and a lot of students coming from high school are not completely aware of the difference. And we notice that when we interact with them, particularly in writing, sometimes it needs to be rewritten, and this is what we ask. Quantitative subject, math and statistics are covered during the first year. And we widen a bit the subject with ethics and critical thinking, because we definitely think that developing critical thinking is one of the main assets students will have, when they will go, in the working environment. Today, ethics linked to it, of course, covering the culture and the history of ethics, but as well today the ethical issue linked to artificial intelligence use, for example, which are important and unavoidable, particularly here, because we are here to educate. So it's a new subject since 2 years now, but quite complex. We are going now to jump into the second year of the program. During the second year, we call it an international experience, and we are going to deepen the functional business knowledge of the students. The idea during this second year is that the students are going to go abroad for either 1 year, so we have the second year BBA2 International, where they can go abroad all year, so it's the yellow line here. Either they go abroad in one of our campus of the group that we are going to see soon in fall, and in a partner institution in spring, or they go in a partner institution in spring and one of our campus in spring, sorry. So they go abroad for the full year. Or they have the option of going abroad only 1 term. So they go in fall abroad and they will come back to study here in spring, or vice versa. The idea, and it's quite important for us, is that the students have to discover, another way of doing in another environment. Putting the students a bit out of their comfort zone if they want, and they will, because they will need to, prepare themselves, to relocating, to moving, and to adapting to a new system, to a new culture. Here at IUM, it's nice. First year will be smooth, very easy. Everybody is very nice. And for some of you, it's already a new culture, but it is a safe, nice, and quiet environment. So the idea is that during this term abroad, you will discover another environment. It can be safe, of course, don't be afraid, but it will be different. And then they will have to adapt a new academic system, new teaching styles, and all that. And that will widen a bit, the perspective of the students. You can choose your destination according to maybe your project that you will have during your life. If you want to, I don't know, work in Asia in the future, you can already target one of our partners in Asia. If you want to discover Paris or London, that's a good opportunity, spending one full term in one of those places, then at the end you get to know very well how it works in this particular country. Emmanuel, some questions maybe?
Yes, exactly, and it's perfectly linked to the subject. Do we have a list of these partnerships, these universities abroad? Totally. First of all, you can find it easily on our website. So you will see experience and you will see semester abroad, and you have all the partners, all the campuses in the US, China, everywhere in the world. So you can easily find it. Another way also is on the brochure of the bachelor. Probably in the middle, at the end of the brochure, you will have almost every partner university. So it's a good way to know.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So the idea is that during the first year, we are going to introduce each of the campuses and its specificity. The choice, as I already mentioned, is a strategic choice to go abroad in one of these countries. But the strategy includes as well, being aware of its financial capability, because studying in London does not have at all the same cost than in Zagreb, for example. And it's important, to project ourselves, as well on a budget type of reflection. Very, very important. Okay, so that's I mentioned already why, and we are going to jump into the third year. Okay, so first year foundations, second year we deepen a bit some functional business knowledge and we widen going abroad. And then during the third year, we specialize. Okay, we specialize because it is important to choose a particular domain. We have already a good wide vision of business world and how business functions, and then we try to apply it into a specific domain. So we have 8 specializations. The one in blue in the screen are the specializations in IUM during one term, followed by the internship. Okay, and we have another specialization, which is the apprenticeship program. The apprenticeship program, which is the red one here, it's called Monaco Banking and Financial Services, is a 1-year program that is spent here in Monaco, working 3 days per week in a bank or financial institutions in Monaco, and studying 2 days per week here at IUM in class. In terms of subject, we have the subjects that are linked to our specializations. Of course, global business management, linked to entrepreneurship, international trades, brand management. The communication and event management is linked to, maybe online communication and creating events at a large scale. We have a specialization in luxury, speaking a bit about fashion, retail, merchandising, digital luxury as well. We have a sport specialization covering, the 3 pillars of the sports, the governance, the event management and the marketing, and as well the industry of the sport. We have an international finance class with a course of financial markets, another course about financial pricing, and one about wealth management planning. Then we have a digital business development specialization. This one is a mix between business and IT and the digital world. The idea is to develop into this specialization the profile of students which is hybrid. These students here in the digital business development will learn IT a bit more deeper than the other one, doing some programming, Python, understanding machine learning, understanding the digital transformation of the companies, and we'll spend one period in ECE, the engineering school of the group, during their third year. And finally, we have the luxury tourism and hospitality, which is, as opposed to the first one, was more the retailing, luxury industry in terms of accessories and digital services. Tourism is completely linked to hospitality, the welcoming, in the region. And here again, there will be, specific field trip and project developed with and for hospitality industry here in the area. So these are the specializations. Some courses are in common, of course, the simulation and business strategy courses. If I want to summarize, and then we will go to the questions if needed. First year, 2 intake, September and January, but everybody will be together in the second year. During the first year, they will be exposed to the different destinations we have, and we will ask them to choose a destination for the second year, where they either can go abroad for a full year or only one term of their choice. Finally, during the third year, we will have the specialization courses and the internship, which is compulsory, linked to the specialization chosen. And finally, we have the apprenticeship program. Of course, there is optional internship during the summer, which are listed here. So summer internship optional for first and second year, compulsory internship for the third year, second term. There is the possibility to have a bridge internship between the end of the bachelor and the beginning of the master, if you do the master here. And then in the master, there is another internship opportunity. So globally, the students will be able to do 5 internships throughout, the bachelor and the master studies that are covering here 4 years and a half, roughly. And to do that, we need a lot of people to help and to organize. So this is another sector of the institution that I am going to present now, called the Career Center. But before, maybe we will speak about academic, and we will conclude with maybe some questions, Emmanuel.
Yes, indeed, Patrice. So first of all, we have a question concerning the application process for this September 2025. We will see just after that in some condition it might still be possible, in some conditions, to apply for the coming intake. And then another questions, are IUM open to students wanting to do a working student structure? I'm not sure to understand.
The working student structure, this is the apprenticeship we were speaking about. So the only structure we have is the apprenticeship structure for the third year bachelor, Monaco Banking and Financial Services. And we have the same apprenticeship program for the master in finance. So you can spend 3 years in apprenticeship here, working in the bank in Monaco, but in finance only, and it starts the third year.
Yes, exactly, not before. Does IUM have cooperation partners to do this? Well, we have the employment service of Monaco, Patrice, right?
Yeah, of course, Monaco. This program has been developed at the demand of the principality, in fact, with the bank. So we are working closely with them. The employment services in Monaco is recruiting the students, selecting the student with us, and then they are supporting the students in their research of companies. We have in Monaco 90 financial institutions in 2 square kilometers. That's a lot of opportunity. But of course, we are not here to give you, a contract. We are here to teach you how to find the contract. That's very important.
Yes, and no, as just said Patrice, the apprenticeship only starts in year 3, not before. If you want to join the bachelor in year 1 or 2, you will have to do the classic program, full classes, eventually some internship, only year 3, and only in the banking sector, as it was mentioned, year 3 and then master. And in the
Yeah,
banking sector.
and to join year 3 is possible because you can do an associate degree in France called IUT or BTS. And of course, after IUT and BTS, you can join the third year directly.
Exactly. But in this case, Belle, Patrice, already a bit in the financial sector to have studied accounting, economics.
Yes, it's better. It depends on the profile, but BTS Bank, very good. Some management des organisations for the French title of the IUT, it's important. Those kind of IUT, yeah, of course, linked to business, let's say in general, or sales as well. NCO is okay.
Yes, not biology. Okay,
Ah,
for the
no.
admission, we will talk about it just later. I let you follow, Patrice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I saw that some of you raised the hand, it pops up, but we don't give you the floor, in this webinar, but do not hesitate to type the question in the Q&A and then we will answer directly. So the Career Center, if I recap a bit, we have 5 internship opportunity during your studies, bachelor and master here. For that, we have people that are here to help you, and this is not in class, it's not the academic program, it's the service, which is aside the academic program. So we have counselors in the career centers. First of all, on the left side, we have Marine, Delphine, and Viola that are here to deal with career services, all the activities that we are organizing for you, and alumni relations as well. And on the right side of the screen, you see the coaches we have, which are either dedicated to a population like bachelor. Team is the main contact for the bachelor, but we have specific contact industry-based, like, in business management, Damien, or in finance, Enrico. These are people that are, specific previous headhunters, let's say, as well, in a specific domain, in order to help you, structuring your profile, your verbatim, prepare you for interviews, reading your CV, and all these kind of subjects that are very, very important. So what they do, they do career counseling. That's the counselor. But the career center as well is organizing a lot of seminars to understand how to set up your LinkedIn profile, how to make a good CV, but maybe addressed by countries or area of the world, maybe a bit different. Trying to understand, who we are, the students are, and what could be, the career objective according to their profile. So understanding a bit more, each individuals and what could be the best match for them in terms of career. There are as well, seminars about self-selling techniques to improve the quality and the performance of interviews. We have networking events and as well how to network, some seminar to understand. And we will do real networking events in order to put in situation the students and the professionals, like cocktails, for example, and or conferences, at the end of the conference, to have the students, interacting with the professionals. And sometimes, at least at the beginning, they are very shy, so we need to, practice a lot to have them, being able to go and say good morning or good afternoon to a director of a bank to say, hello, this is who I am. It's not easy. So a lot of seminars in order to train and trying to set up, how to the plans, how to find an internship, the structure, the strategy, how to put in place for the internship opportunities that we have. Of course, they are sending internship offers every week. They organize, conferences with other kind of people, like conferences, roundtables. We have competitions. This is another way to interact with professionals as well. So it's group of students that are competing in business plan competitions linked to ocean preservation or luxury and sustainability. These are the two we have. And in fact, if they go to the final or if they participate and come to listen to the final debate, let's say, the people in the room are all professionals and half of them are investors. So and then you are here in the same room, and then if you are on stage, you will discuss with them directly, and then that could be a good opportunity as well for your next step. We organize business days here at IUM, and of course, we are interacting with networks. So business days, like the Career Week, it's one of them. It's something very important here at IUM. There is one in October for Bachelor specific third year, and one in March for the entire student. And we organize, conferences from businesses that are coming to IUM. We have company presentations. We organize roundtable, career workshops. The students are putting the CVs in boxes in front of each of the company that are coming, and then recruiters select the CV, and then we have speed biz dating sessions, so mock interviews, and sometimes real interviews in order to sign agreement, and then opportunity to network at the end of the week. Very important, very active. We welcome something like 90 companies here at IUM, and we sign 100, 150 internship agreements during, and sometimes contract, just job offers. So it's an important event today to have that. These are some of the names of the company that were here in the last one 3 months ago here. So you see, it covers all the more or less the topic. So it's an extract, of course, either locals company or in the finance or international companies in luxury. It's a bit of we try to have all the sectors represented during this particular interesting business week. We have as well some statistics to share with you here. Surprisingly, Monaco is attracting a lot of our students. It's a small territory, 2 square kilometers, but we have 26% of our bachelor students that are working in Monaco after their bachelor studies, which is quite a big proportion, in fact. A lot of students are continuing their studies, half of them directly, and then you can add another 25% 1 year after because they do a gap year. We have entrepreneurs because 10% of our bachelor students are creating their own company. Okay, and we have as well, career in international company, big names that are then students usually stays in the big company and climb the stairs there. Before we jump into the next sessions, the next slide, sorry, about student life, do we have specific questions, Emmanuel, about career and working internships?
No questions about career, mostly questions about admissions, also visas. So sorry about this. If there's no French consulate in your country, in Asia, there's nothing we can do. I invite you to check all the options. I know the only way, but it's really specific for students to be sponsored by a company and to avoid fees while working with a visa. Normally, to work in parallel of your studies at IUM, you don't have to have a visa. With a visa, it's difficult to work. So if you have a visa, there's only one option for you to work in parallel of studies, is if you have sponsored by a company in your country. So you work online with them and they sponsor you. Otherwise, with a visa, you won't work while studying at IUM. In the summer, it's maybe another story, but not in parallel. Just to make this point clear. And then it's more on admission, Patrice. So I think we can continue. Scholarships also.
Okay, so just one word and then I let you the floor, Emmanuel, about student life, because we are here in the south of France region, in the Côte d'Azur, in the Principality of Monaco. Student life could be amazing, and I think it is, but it is as well structured. And then we have students organizing, here it's called the Student Association, for the students, by the students. Okay, so that's important. So they do sports on one side with interesting achievement. The students are in charge of the teams. One team is the captain. He organizes his own budget and his own activities with the other students, and he has a duty of recruiting, maintaining, and delivering at the end of the year to justify the cost that his team he created So we have, every year regular team, those that you see here, football, tennis, golf, sailing with the Yacht Club of Monaco. These are every year with a specific agreement. For example, Yacht Club, very interesting. When you interact with the Yacht Club and you spend every Saturday morning there, you may meet interesting people for a future business world. So that's a subject. And we had, other some years we had a karting club, a go-kart, successful. We won the French University Championship. So that was, interesting at the initiative of the students, of course. This is as well, an example of how you can be entrepreneur and active learners by organizing things. The second uh, plan of this student association are the societies. They organize the societies with different subjects. It started with finance students interested in finance, willing to try to, meet more regularly and then discovering a bit more finance. So they organized finance competition. They had trading, in the evening. They invited professors, and then they organized roundtables with professionals, networking events, either at IUM or even then outside, booking a room in hotels in Monaco. Very professionals. And then now we have the same kind of activity with a luxury society, entrepreneurship club, important, and motor club. So these are societies, so it's extracurricular activities which are not linked to sport, organized by the students for the students, but linked to academic subject. And they organize trips. We had field trips. We have other kind of trips organized by the students. We have a cultural activity in Monaco with special pricing. And the student association as well is organizing charity activities with raising funds for a humanitarian project or physically going and distributing food to homeless people. That's something that we do very regularly, in fact, with them, not alone, structured in an environment which is safe, but this is something we do. And now I'm finished with the student association. We are going to jump into the admission procedure.
Not yet, Patrice, actually. Thank you. But is it possible to participate in both a sport club and a society club in the same year? Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
guess.
course, of course. Sport, you can join one or two sport club. It depends on what you can do, but usually it's one. But the society, it's separated from the sport. Yes, of course, you can do both. Knowing that to join the society, there is a kind of admission jury made by the students, by the president and the vice president of the society. So it's under petition. You have to show that you are really interested, invested, engaged, and you will provide, and do something for the society. Because if it is just to have the name, in the CV, I am part of the finance society, they won't accept you. You will have to show your contribution in fact, during the year. That's how it works, and this is why it works, because all the people inside then are really, really and genuinely interested and active.
Great. And yes, so there's no restriction. And the more you do, the better it is for your experience. You can mix charity, sports, business. It's
And
great.
yeah, and it is strategic again. That's things you will see with the career coach, but you have to put lines in your CV. Donc doing internships, doing being part of a society is clearly something that will add to your profile when you will have your first interview and trying to understand what can I do to this recruiter about my profile.
Great, thank you. Good question, is IUM connected to the luxury automotive industry other than Rolls-Royce? There's a lot more than Rolls-Royce, I guess, huh, Patrice?
But yes, of course, they do corporate project with Porsche, for example. I know Ferrari came to for the career day to recruit students. It's not our main activity, but it's part of the others. Yeah, it's connected to the industry in general. Yeah, of course, it's not only Rolls-Royce, but Rolls-Royce was here this particular career session. That's why we have the name.
Yeah, we took some examples. It was
Yeah.
non-existent. There was a lot.
Some company comes for on a specific day. So they book a day. So Ferrari, you know, when they came. We have the Ferrari day at IUM. And they came to speak to finance people, by the way, mainly. So they wanted to discuss with the finance students. But it is Ferrari. And that's a bit different. Sometimes, you know, we have Barclays that comes, but wants to discuss to the luxury marketing people.
This is very interesting. So it's really transversal, and we can see it in many of our alumni. They work in, depending on the job, in different companies. That it's not.
That's a good point. In fact, you have to see the job market as a matrix. In fact, the matrix, you have the sector or the discipline, and you have the jobs. And one job can match different sectors. So you need to understand when you set up your career plan, which sector you would like to interact with, and then which type of work you would like to do, because you can be a financial officer in a luxury, in a big company, or in a financial asset management company. And same for the marketing.
So yes, actually, to answer this new question, absolutely. Do the societies collaborate with real companies in the industry of luxury, for example?
Once again, yes, but it's up to the students. It's from the students. We do, you know, the career days, and we invite company. We had the Gucci Day, Ferragamo came in. We have it. And this is what the institution is doing. And the luxury, they will do, you know, more or less the same on their way. Something maybe more, you know, in line with what a new generation may expect. And they are, of course, definitely. And we are open to welcome their company here, give the room, maybe you know, pay the flight of the guest or something, no problem. But it's from the students to the students.
How do we make sure that students find out what they want? I guess you're talking about internships. So as we explained, there's the career service, which is essential in this. Huh?
Yeah, it depends what you mean. I would understand more what they want is that to understand what they would like to develop, you know, in their. So it's a mix, you know. You do the class, you know what you like, you know what you dislike. You have some practitioners, so you know a bit more, you know, the real life or real companies. You do internships. Some are optional internship, they are optional, but they are highly recommended because then you interact with a type of companies in a particular country. You can do internship wherever you want in the world, beside blacklisted countries. So you can discover not only a structure, a type of company, it could be a family office, a family business, or it can be a big international company, and in different place of the world, where, you know, the way of interacting is different. So how do you know what you want? Is that is to try to understand what you don't like, and then to go to what you like.
And we have career coaches for this, Patrice, who can guide a bit students who hesitate.
Of course, of course.
Perfect. So the admissions, to answer quickly the first three questions, yes, it's still possible for September in some conditions. In some conditions, still possible for scholarship. And for the English test, you need B2 level, but the test is not compulsory. Okay, so this is done. I will dive a bit more into it. So concretely, if you didn't apply yet and you're still interested for the September intake, homologically for January 2026 or September 2026, applications, in all cases, it's online. Okay, you don't need to come to the university because we have the questions sometimes. So you go on IUM, the official website, you will see apply online. It's very intuitive. You will see four main documents. Okay, so what we need is the high school transcript. Really try to send the most recent one. For example, if I take the case of applying for this September, normally you have received already your baccalaureate, your high school diploma. So please send it to us. If it's not the case yet, no problem. But in this case, send the last high school transcript. Normally, it's a final transcript that almost shows that you have a good average or that you will graduate. So it takes out a bit the doubt we could have. Then we need a motivational letter, very important, to show your goals, why you want to join IUM. Please, I repeat again, but in English, especially for the French or Italians, sometimes you write in French. And then it's classic, so passport, not expired, just be careful, and ID picture. So if all this is fine for us, then you will have an online interview. So if the grades are okay, we have all the documents, online interview. So actually for next September, so 2026 or January 2026, of course, in this case, we don't ask necessarily the diploma because most of you will start only your last year. So you have only some transcript for now. So, okay, just open the application, send the most recent transcript you have, and then eventually you could get accepted under conditions still to validate the diploma, obviously. So it really depends on your intake. September intake, we would like the diploma, you should have it, or the last transcript while waiting for the diploma. For next year's intake, just send the transcript for now. So let's admit it's all fine. You've got admitted to the interview, which is the second step of the admission process. You will have to speak to a teacher in English, of course, online to see a bit what is your motivation to join us. Do you have a goal? Do you like, for example, Monaco strong industries like finance, like luxury, sport business? Do you want to build a company? Or just do you feel that business management is for you? Do you want to manage a team concretely? We must feel this even if you're young, even if you still have time, you know. Of course, your English level. As I said, very important, it's not compulsory for the bachelor to send an English test. If you want to send one, that's perfect for us, that's very good, but we need a B2 minimum. So for IELTS, for example, it's minimum 6.0. For TOEFL, you can see 79, and for Cambridge, B2. If you have it, it's great, otherwise don't send it. The interview will last 30 minutes, 45 minutes, really about your general knowledge, your motivation. Try to learn, please, also a bit about the university, not necessarily every date, like the date of creation or this. If you do, it's great, but don't be here in tourist, you know. It's rarely the case, but I prefer to remind it still. You can have a great academic record, good grades. If the interview is failed, you won't be accepted. So this would be a shame. It's really a mix of both. And then after the interview, the third step, with Patrice, with other program directors and the admission team, there will be an admission jury. So the jury, as I said, it will be really the decision based on both the interview performance and the high school transcript. So be good in both ways. So now, concerning the events to come, if you still want to visit the university, which is of course important before joining for 3 years, for example, you want to see the place physically, it's normal. We organize school visits, which is quite new. We've been doing it for a few months and people are happy about it. We have one, for example, coming on Tuesday, the 29th of July, so in like 2 weeks, and Tuesday, the 19th of August. So if you're around Monaco in this period, 29th of July, 19th of August, you can come. It will be at 5, 6 p.m. Monaco time. Just a small visit, you know, of half an hour, 1 hour. You will see a bit the university, the classrooms. You will see the different places, library, etc., student life. And you will talk also to the admission team. Maybe not professors and students because it will be holiday time, but you will ask all your questions, visit the establishment. So it's still nice. And we will have other webinars like this one, of course, every month if you know people who were maybe interested. We didn't mention the fees yet. So the bachelor lasts 3 years. For each year of bachelor, the average fee is 14,500 euros for each year. Important to know, you can, of course, have the possibility to pay in 7 installments if you don't want to pay or you can't pay all in once. So it's, of course, possible. Patrice mentioned the honors track a bit earlier, which is very nice, I think. So to remind, is to have 4 years of credits in only 3 years, and then you can do a master in the US, for example. In this case, it will be slightly more expensive in the second and third year in the honors track, but not a lot more. 1.5 thousand more on average. So given the year that you save in the time and the money, it's interesting. Concerning scholarship, yes, Patrice, sorry, there was something?
Yeah, no, if I may, for the honors track, it is of course very interesting in terms of money because you just say 1 year if you want to go to the university in United States for your master, but the honors track is reserved for the best students. So there is a selection to join the honors track, because then we will have additional technical subject, a bit complex, a thesis to write, so a capstone project at the end of the year. And it's not open to all the students. You need to show a very good average at the end of the first year.
So there's a double interest in working very well in the first year to have more choices abroad in the second year and eventually apply to the honors track, right?
Yeah, definitely, yes. And it is a bachelor 4 years degree to apply to the master that have a bachelor 4 year as a requirement, which is most of the case not the case in Europe. It's important to know it's mainly for the United States. But again, showing that you are an honor student, ring the bell. It shows that your profile is what we call a high-level profile.
Still a good impression, yeah. I have a question. Is it possible to apply right now for January or September 2026? Yeah, absolutely. As I said, so for January, it just opened recently, a few weeks ago. So you can start the application and we will check the documents. For September, however, it will open in a few months, probably in October. So be a bit patient. You can prepare the documents and just will open it online in October 2025 for September 2026. Yes, concerning the deadline. So please apply really at the latest, because normally it was 30th of June. Because we are international, as you can guess, there's a lot of visa issues with everything ongoing with geopolitical issues in the world. Some students, unfortunately, a lot will be able to come, but some won't be able to come because of visa only. So you might still, have a chance. Important if you have a good file. At this period, you can apply and get admitted, but we want good grades, good transcript. Patrice will be happy. So in this case, you can get admitted. And also, why not obtaining a scholarship? Yes, it's still possible. So to recap, the scholarship, it's really merit-based and delivered by IUM. It's not delivered by the Monegasque government or by another institution. It's by us. So we have limited resources because we are good, okay, but we're still private, we are alone. So we do our best. The best you can hope, I would say, is around 1.5K or 2K, really of scholarship, if you have good grades, good transcript. So I invite you to apply to get admitted. And only once you get admitted, you can ask for a scholarship. Once again, given the period, we are in July. The last time I saw it, there were like maybe 15, 20,000 euros left. So I don't know today. But if you hurry up, I'm quite optimistic you can have one. Okay, and we had other questions, I think. Yes, Patrice, will there be any group projects, presentation, or practical assignments? A lot.
Good questions. It's based on the grading of each classes is based on both continuous assessment and final exam. Every class is both in master and bachelor's program. So the continuous assessment has a component of class participation, engagement, interactions, but as well assessment which are during the year, in-class assessment. It is most of the case either one quiz and one group project with a presentation in the end. And then the final exam is most of the case written final exam in class. So, but we have, other type of final exam. We may have some orals as well, individual, and we have as well the possibility of having individual project sometimes in some of the classes during the continuous assessment. But basically, yes, of course, there is group project and interacting in between each other in class, doing a project, particularly when we have a class which is highly international. It's a good learning experience. Sometimes it's not easy because students have different culture, different way of addressing the questions, and their own organizations, and this is what we call learning.
Thank you. So I have a question to recap a bit the admission process and the delays. Don't worry how it works. You apply. 1 week after we have all the documents, and I said all the documents, not on your part, you will have the online interview, okay? And 1 week again after the interview, the jury will deliberate. So interview, 1 week later, jury, and straight after, maybe one day, half a day after, we will inform you. So by email, or we will call you, you will receive the decision. If you're admitted, well done. You will receive the email to register because you will still need to register. If we go back a bit to the honors track issue, Patrice, do you also need 4 years of bachelor to study a master in the UK, or is it just in the US?
It is just in the US. The UK, they have this foundational year. So it depends on the masters. But most of our masters that can join the London Business School, for example, they will take. Maybe some traditional, since they have the foundation year, they can count it as a 4-year degree because of the foundation year. But normally, no.
Perfect, it's all clear. Yeah, we'll always invite you, of course, to contact the university in which you want to do a master, just to be sure. But normally it's like this. What do you have to do in the interview if you don't have an English test? Well, as I said, English test is not compulsory. So in this case, what will happen? The interview, instead of lasting 30 minutes, will last a bit longer, 45 minutes. And also you will need to write an English essay before. So usually it's like 1 page. You send it to the admission manager before the interview, an English essay of 1 page. And then the interview will last 15 more minutes. So you will still have the 30 minutes related to motivational, why you want to join us, etc., which will be in English. But then the difference, you will have 15 more minutes, which will be more a bit on your grammar. Orally, the professor, which will be an English-speaking professor, will feel if you're equivalent to B2 or not. And so he will have to say you're equivalent to B2 because you didn't send a test.
It is a bit like, the TOEFL structure, this additional English interview with the reading, speaking, understanding, and listening. So we will have all the component, writing, listening, reading, speaking, and understanding. And then the professor, which is an English professor certified to pass that kind of test, will give us, the needed level. So you don't have to anticipate this TOEFL or IELTS test too much. All the more that for some of the destination for your second year, you may need it. And if you pass it after 1 year here, or at least 6 months here, your English level will have increased a lot because you will interact in English here every day. So it's better to go through the English test interview than trying to do a TOEFL before coming, in emergency, and taking the time of passing the TOEFL during the end of the first year or something like that, because then you will get at least 3 to 5 points more in the test.
Yes, exactly. Don't be in a rush to have a test before applying because you might have less than what we require, less than B2, for example, IELTS with 5.5. So it will be useless for us and you will have wasted time, maybe money. What we can do in this case, not for this intake because it's very short, but for next year, for example, if you want to be sure to pre-book your spot, if we can say to make a good impression, you send the documents, we admit you to the interview. And then you can tell us eventually, I want to wait a few more weeks before the interview because I want to work on my English. This is possible. Keep it in mind. What's the teaching style, Patrice? Is it more theoretical or practical?
It's experiential learning, to be honest. It's a balance between theory and professors that are researchers will have a tendency of putting more theory. But in fact, the rhythm of the class, and this is what I require to the professors in general, is to have a balance between theory and application. And when we have practitioners coming, the practitioner it's really applied. In fact, with bringing in class people or a real case, that's more applied. So it is, let's say, in general, more applied than more theoretical.
That's the best. To enter the labor market, you need the theory, but it's great to have the practice. How should I strengthen my application with my last 2 years of high school transcript? Are there any other extracurricular activities I can do? Yes, of course. So this is not compulsory, but it's always a competitive advantage, a strength to send, for example, recommendation letters. It can be pretty diverse. It can be from, of course, a teacher in high school, but it can also be, for example, from a sport coach or from an internship mentor who supervised you during your internship. and any kind of people who saw you in action, and that can be interesting for us to see. So yeah, I invite you to send this kind of documents, even if it's not mandatory. Once again, is it possible without an IB diploma to apply? Of course, we have many students, they don't all have the IB diploma. We do like the IB diploma, especially with good grades. We have on average 32 points of average for students who apply with an IB. So try to be in this range. If you don't have the IB, that's not a problem. As long as your diploma is officially recognized in your country, it can be at the national level or more international, like an IB school, A levels, etc. Even BTech, if you have good grades, we can accept it. So really, it's more recognition. This is the most important. Accreditation, etc.
You need to have a diploma, a high school diploma. If you come only with 2 IB certificates succeeded, that does not work. It has to be, either with a real high school diploma delivered by your school and recognized by the government.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting question because we are faced to this sometimes with Patrice. So the candidate maybe will miss the IB from 2 points, so he won't have his diploma. Can he still apply? So this is where the accreditation enters in account. If you have a classic high school diploma, let's say, but without the IB diploma, your school needs to have a double accreditation, CIS, other ones. We will need to check. If it's not the case, it won't be enough. If it's the case and the grades are convincing, the other ones, you can be accepted, huh, Patrice?
Yeah, you are eligible. And then we will do case by case, of course.
Would you recommend me, interesting question, to take a class, for basic French in order to help me for everyday life?
It's a good question. We have, of course, we did not mention the language, but yeah, language is an option, which is free. And for those that does not speak French at all, is highly recommended. So you can learn French here, but if you start learning French before coming, you will be a bit faster. And yeah, to interact in the environment in Monaco, well, there is no problem. But as far as you go a bit more deeper in France, French is a bit needed. So the route of French is very welcome. It does not change at all the admission decision, because speaking a bit of French or not, at the admission level for the academic life, it's a question we never ask ourselves. So it's not for the, but it's for your life outside. It will be yeah, you will start from let's say less far from the other. And of course, you can start a language. It's a good question because then we forgot to mention languages. You can start Russian, Spanish,
Chinese,
and Chinese.
Italian, if I'm
So
not
and
mistaken.
French, of course, which is the French. It's the language we operate the more in class here, and it's interesting because all the language classes are delivered, vertically. That means that if you are a beginner in French, whether you are in MBA, in Master of Finance, or in first year Bachelor, you will be together in the French beginner class, and that's interesting because then you will interact with other kind of people. That's interesting.
Yes, and it's free. There's no additional cost. There's no grades, so no pressure. There's only positive to do it, honestly.
Extra credit, yeah. Yeah. So if
Ah,
you pass
even better.
successfully, you have an extra credit.
So no reason not to do it, really.
Yeah. Same as optional internship, it delivers extra credits, and here the optional internship is graded.
Does IUM have brokers, partners that help students find accommodation?
Accommodation is a good subject. I was waiting for it. So we have, yes, of course. So Monaco, you see, is surrounded by French cities. Cap d'Aille, Beausoleil, and Roquebrune. You can walk down to the university, and we are at the exit of the station for those that would like to live in Menton or Nice. So we have different options for you. We have a platform which is called Studapart. We have a Facebook group, and we have a real estate agency. Here at IUM, we have a service called Student Services. As soon as you are accepted here in the program, Student Services is going to contact you and to get in touch with you, and then to start speaking a bit about your relocation, if you need a visa and all that, and then they will address you with the right person.
Okay, perfect. It seems we don't have any more questions, so I think we can stop here. Thank you very much, Patrice. It was really insightful. And if you have any questions, you can contact us at the admission for any issue or doubt.
Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Patrice. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.